KGUN 9 on your side starts right now with breaking news.
Breaking news right now, ESPN reports Coach Sean Miller may have discussed paying $100,000 to ensure star freshman Deandre Ayton would sign with the Wildcats.
This information coming from FBI wiretaps on Christian Dawkins, an employee of a sports agent at the center of a different college basketball scandal. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Guy Atchley.
And I'm Stella Inger. Let's get right to our in-house expert, sports director Jason Barr. Jason, what does all of this mean?
Stella, Guy, this is just devastating news right now. ESPN has sources that say Miller discussed paying Deandre Ayton $100,000. It was in order to ensure that he would attend Arizona. ESPN sources say the FBI intercepted telephone calls involving Sean Miller. Miller and Mr. Christian Dawkins, who was working for the ASM sports agency, reportedly had multiple conversations regarding Ayton. And according to the story, when Dawkins asked Sean Miller if he should work with Book Richardson to finalize the agreement, Sean Miller told Dawkins he should deal directly with him. Now, Richardson was the Wildcats assistant coach who was arrested and since been fired. KGUN 9 did reach out to the FBI. They said they cannot comment on the ongoing investigation. Guy.
Jason, thank you. Former Wildcat Jason Terry already reacting on Twitter. He says, bear down, it's time to clean house and bring home our own bloodlines to carry on Lute's legacy.
He goes on to say we have too much pride, too much tradition to allow outsiders to tear down what we build. Terry is one of Arizona's all-time great players. He was on the national championship team back in 1997. And ESPN Tucson Zach Clark joins us now. He's on the phone. ESPN Radio Tucson with the Zach Clark Show. Zach, a lot of questions tonight. I guess the big one is, will Sean Miller be at tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest question, Stella, right now. And it all depends on what Arizona knows and when they knew it. There's a lot going on right now. And as you alluded to, there's kind of a connection, a web here. And it started this morning with reports about various different schools, and this ledger came up. But Arizona, they did not appear on this. But later today, as we've learned, as you guys explained, all the rest of this has come out with the wiretapping, and then there's something else out with Yahoo talking about Rollie Alkins and previously Lauri Markkanen too, Lauri Markkanen. But yeah, Stella, I don't know the answer to that question. Again, it depends on how seriously the university takes these allegations or this reporting and what they decide to do. I mean, that's the one thing that we'll be waiting for this evening. Does he coach? Do they send him home? Do they do nothing? We're just going to have to wait and see.
Zach, we're talking about $100,000. Do we know where this money came from?
Well, it's unclear at this point, and you guys explained the chain very well, where these people are surrogates, right? I mean, if you look at this from a bird's eye view, what's happening is Sean and the agent, if this is all true, again, these are all allegations, if this is true, Sean and the agent are basically communicating about Deandre Ayton using intermediaries. Book Richardson on Arizona side, and then Christian Dawkins, the runner, as they call him. So I would assume, again, I don't know. It's not clear because, again, as Jason pointed out, they say deal with him personally. So at that point, it kind of becomes hands off. So we don't know where the trail led.
Zach, this is Jason Barr. Certainly, Book Richardson was arrested back in September and has since been fired. He was the assistant coach. The FBI apparently had a ton on him. If the FBI also has had a ton on Sean Miller, why wasn't Sean Miller arrested back in September and since been fired? Why only Book Richardson? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Well, no, Jason, that's a fair question. But the FBI, they usually have a bigger end game. I mean, you here and me too are worried about what's happening in Tucson. The FBI usually has a bigger end game. There's a long scope to this. They're not in any hurry to get this done. I mean, we know that now that they've been doing this for over 2 years already, so clearly there is no rush. So I would think at some point the FBI would prefer that we didn't know this, but that's how good journalism works. People find it, they report it, and here we are.
All right, Zach.
I don't know what their end game is.
Okay, Zach, thank you very much. Stick around because we're still waiting maybe for a statement from the university. They haven't come out and said anything. The FBI is not commenting, so stick around just in case. In the meantime, we're going to go live to Erica Weston. She joins us from 4th Avenue, where university students are just hearing about this news. Erica.
Thank you, Stella. We're actually now on University Boulevard where the news about Sean Miller, the breaking news that ESPN reported, is just starting to come out. I am joined now by Sammy Ahmed, who graduated from the U of A last year. Sammy, you went to a handful of games every season that you were here. What was your initial reaction when you saw the news earlier tonight?
Initially, it was just complete shock. I was just scrolling through my phone and I saw Sean Miller's face on the front of ESPN, and I thought, I read the headline and I thought this couldn't be happening, and now I'm just it's just sad to me. Like, the fact that this happened to U of A and such a great program is now going to be condemned with corruption and other vices. It's just unfortunate, really.
When you saw the initial report in September, what did you think then, and did you think anything else was coming?
Right, yeah. Back then, I thought the whole situation was dealt with. It was a handful of other schools investigated by the FBI, and I thought, justice was served, and I thought that was the end of it. And unfortunately, it reared its ugly head. Now Sean Miller's the culprit of all what happened, and it's just really sad. As
an alumni of the university, what do you think this does for the legacy of the school and the athletic program moving forward?
I just think that U of A, the sports programs are always led with the ideas of excellence and professionalism, and I just think that this bodes very poorly for the future of Arizona basketball, for that players program that was built starting with Lute Olson all the way until Sean Miller, and now recruits and media is just going to look down upon this program, unfortunately, I think.
Sammy, we appreciate your time. Again, that's the latest fan reaction coming from University Boulevard. We are still awaiting a statement from the university. Reporting on University Boulevard, Erica Weston, KGUN 9, on your side.
Erica, thank you. And just a bad week for U of A sports. Gang rape by U of A football players. That's just one of the claims in a lawsuit against the University of Arizona. The lawsuit is one of 3 cases claiming widespread sexual abuse in the U of A football program.
And as 9 on Your Side's Craig Smith reports, women in the suits say the university had a chance to protect them, but protected the football program instead.
Former U of A football player Orlando Bradford is serving 5 years in prison. He admitted choking and beating 2 former girlfriends. Those women say the University of Arizona knew Bradford was violent and failed to protect them. One woman says she dated Bradford for 9 months because his violence made her afraid to leave him. Now her lawsuit says the abuse and sexual harassment went far beyond Bradford. Her suit claims the culture of the U of A football